welcome back to part 4 of the Trifle sweater. How is it going? How's your sweater coming along? Because now you're halfway. It's pretty awesome. This is hopefully exciting because it's exciting to me. All right, today we're working on the rest of our front, which means we got some shaping again. And it's very similar to the shaping that we did on the back, but with that, we really only did actual shaping for like 2 rows, maybe. Here we have more shaping to do, but there's no new stitches in terms of like, I just made up a new stitch today. No. So we're just going to repeat the stitches that we've already learned. But what I want to do is we're breaking it down size by size, because you'll notice this part of the pattern is written very differently than all of the rest of the parts, right? Like with the rest of the parts, we had like, okay, size extra small and large, you're together doing this, or 2X and 5X, you're together doing that. Like here, we picked out every size and gave you your own directions. And the reasons for that is I find that sometimes with crochet patterns, the way we have to write them is for space, and we try to combine as many sizes as we can. But different things will happen for different sizes, like the beginning and the end of the row might be slightly different. And so sometimes that can get very confusing when it's all within one block of instructions. So I wanted to take that all apart. I didn't want anybody to be like, wait, how many repeats am I supposed to be doing versus, the small versus the larger. I just wanted it to be as clear as humanly possible. So that's why you'll see that every set of sizes has its own directions and its own stitch diagrams. So there's no translating here. Whatever stitch you see is the stitch that goes in your sweater. And really just to make it as clear as humanly possible. So use all the tools that you have, all of the words, everything that you see as we go. So it will all come together. All right. So with that, let's look at those stitch diagrams because there's a lot of them. There's a lot, but that hopefully you'll find that they're a pretty great tool. So come join me at my desk so we can take a look. All right. Today is the same as the back. It was the same. We have neck decreases, our double crochet 2 together, double crochet treble together, double crochet 2 together, and a single crochet 2 together. All of these are the same. They're the same as the neck. It just changes how many times we're essentially doing them this time. All right, so I've broken our sizes into essentially 2 different categories. So one category uses the neck decreases, and then the other ones use the double crochet treble together. So I'm going to kind of break them in half. We're going to talk about each one separately. So the first set of directions is for the small, extra small, small, large, and 3X, 4X. All of you, these are your directions for what you're going to do. So like I said, every size has its own chart, which means when it shows how many stitches across, that's the exact amount. There's no stitch repeats listed up here. You don't have to add extra stitches. So however many stitches you see is how many stitches you're doing, which makes it hopefully much easier. Same thing goes for the 3X, 4X, is just down behind. Now the reason I've grouped these together is because what's happening when you get to the neckline is the same. So all of these use this neck decrease. All of them use a neck decrease. The difference is how many times they use a neck decrease. So like for the small, extra small, they're using it twice, whereas the large is using it 3 times. The 3X, 4X is using it 3 times. So that is different. The other thing that's different is what row you might be on. So when we talk today, I'm not going to talk about the beginning of the row, right? So for our extra small, small, this is starting where you start with the single crochet, then you chain 2 and you go on. But if you look at the start of the large, which is up here, it's starting with the stacked double crochet and the 2 double crochets where it starts. So they're starting in different places. So that's why you have different directions, right? They are different. The 3x and 4x is starting in the same place as the small, extra small. So for today, we're not going to be talking about what's going on here, because if you think about it this way, this edge, there's no new information. We're not all of a sudden going to change how you start or end this edge of your sweater. It just continues in the pattern. Nothing changes here. But what changes is how you do these decreases. So for these sizes, this is what we're going to look at. So let's go ahead and crochet a bit of this so you can get into the rhythm. And then you're going to just continue for your size and pay attention to how many decreases they have and like where you end up. So like the difference between the 3x, 4x, and the large, where this one will end up with like 5 double crochets at the shoulder here. This one only has 3, which is why this one, is just a little bit bigger of a neck. All right. So even though we're going to be demonstrating this size, I just want you to keep in mind this is the same for all of these, but this side might be different. So pay attention to your diagram and follow along. Okay. So like I said, everything going across is the same as you've been doing it in the stitch pattern until we get over to our neck. All right, so we're going to have 2 complete stitch repeats and then do our decrease. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. All right, I have our swatch started and worked up, and I have 2 complete stitch repeats. Again, this is for the extra small, small. You might have to do more if you're on the large or the 3x, 4x. Then it shows to chain 2 and do your decrease. So we chain 2 and we're going to do our decrease. Our decrease, our neck decrease, is one of those ones that have like 3 legs on them. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next chain 2 space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's like doing 1 leg. Then we do it again, yarn over, insert our hook into the chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's like doing 2 legs. Now the next leg is going to be a treble, so we're going to yarn over twice, insert our hook into the double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 3 loops, you have 4 loops left on your hook, you yarn over, pull through all of those. Now for the next row, we start with a chain 3, turn, skip all of this. Do a double crochet into the next single, chain 2, and then just continue with our stitch pattern. So I'm just going to continue here with the stitch pattern, and we'll come back. So again, all of this, the decrease and the start, is the same for all of the sizes. When you come back and work, just keep working back in the pattern, because by now I'm hoping that your brain has started to figure out this stitch pattern almost by heart, where it's like, oh, I got to these 5 double crochets. I know I got to put a single in each of those 5 double crochets. I always like to think of it as, like I was saying earlier, am I in a solid section or am I in a lacy section? I get to the end, I need to complete that lacy section, so I chain 2, double in here. And remember, that's only for extra small, 3x, 4x. For the large, you end a little bit over here, so you didn't do anything wrong. Large, you end a little bit further. All right, let's turn and go back, and we'll do another decrease over here. So we do our stack double crochet to start the extra small size, 2 double crochets, chain 2. We're still in our stitch pattern. We stay in our stitch pattern. So all I'm doing is, working all of that stitch pattern that we've already established. So when there is, in my brain, what I do is, okay, like I just completed a solid section, which means I need to start my lacy section. So that's where I'll chain 2 and single crochet. I try to keep my brain occupied in it. And then when you get down to your last 2 chain spaces, remember this one was a chain 3 and this is your chain 2. When you get down to these last 2, you're going to do your neck decrease in this chain 2 space and turn. So I'm down to it. I will chain 2 and then do that neck decrease again. So yarn over, insert my hook into the loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert my hook into the chain space, pull up a loop. I got 2 legs on my hook, yarn over twice, insert it into the double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, 4 loops left on my hook, yarn over, pull through all of those, then chain 3. And you would go back and continue on. So that is how you do these decreases. What happens is that chain 3 space works to decrease for like your lacy sections, and this adds your decrease in like your solid section, so it kind of keeps in line with what you're doing, so that it mimics exactly what you have going on. So then you'll just continue with whatever the pattern tells you to do, and keep in mind these have like 2 decreases for the smaller sizes. The larger sizes have 3 of them, which is why I like these diagrams. It's a lot easier, especially if you put it down, how many did I do? Well, it's really easy to count 2 and look at those diagrams. So they're really great for all of that. All right, let's look at the medium size. All right, so medium, 2x, 5x. You're up next. All right, you have the cool double crochet treble together. So your first decrease is kind of in the lacy section. Then you'll decrease in with a single crochet 2 together. So this is how yours gets worked. Again, like the medium, it starts where you start with a single crochet. The 2x starts where you have a single crochet. The 5x starts where you have a single crochet. So you guys are not as different in this kind of this pairing. This one has 9 rows total, and both of these have 13 rows total, which means that you're going to be staying in your same repeats. The only difference with these guys is the medium only has 2 decreases, and the 2x and 5x have 3 full decreases. So you will start and end the same on this side, but again, it's the neckline that we care about. So it's the same concept of this doesn't change. You're just going to keep doing what you've been doing on this edge. This edge over here will change. And again, however many stitches you have going across will be how many stitches that you need in the end. So like you can do a 1-for-1 when you're reading these diagrams because it's all drawn out for you. All right, in this case, for the medium, we needed to have 1, 2 full stitch repeats, and then we start our decrease. So we bring over our medium swatch. We have 1, 2 full decreases, and now we can start 1, 2 full stitch repeats. Now we're going to start a decrease. So you continue in the pattern, which is 2 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, double crochet in the next double crochet. Then you get to your next chain 2 space, you're going to do 1 double crochet. Then we do this decrease section. So it's basically making us have an angle right here. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to do our treble leg. So yarn over twice, insert your hook into the middle single crochet. Like, again, if you're imagining yours, you still have a whole bunch of stuff over here. This is just our little swatch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you have 3 legs, 3 loops on your hook, 2 legs, yarn over, pull through all of those. All right, row 2A, turn. I'm going to move the tails out of the way so you guys can see. All right, what you do is skip this decrease. Don't go in that stitch, skip that one. Then do a single crochet, 2 together. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through those 2. Then you'll have 2 double crochets left, do a single in each of those, and then just complete your stitch pattern. So we're in a lacy section, so I'm going to do the chain 2, double crochet, chain 2. Now we're in a solid section, and I will single crochet in each one of these single crochets going across. Back to the lacy section, chain 2, back to the solid section. So the rest of it is kind of, you just turn and go back. You know, don't worry about what's going on. You just turn and go back. Chain 2, double crochet in the last one. All right, now we're ready. Show you what it looks like on this side. So you have your decrease just starting. Let's go back. We'll keep crocheting and get back to the other side. All right, we have a stacked double crochet to start. Two double crochets in the next chain space. Chain 2, single crochet in the middle, single crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the middle of the next group of single crochets, chain 2. Now we're down to the last 2 chain spaces. So I'm going to do a double crochet, 2 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, double crochet in the next double crochet, double crochet in the next chain 2 space, and now I'm ready to do my decrease again. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, Now do my treble leg, yarn over twice, skip 2 single crochets, insert my hook into the next single crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I have 3 loops left on my hook, yarn over, pull through all of those. And now you can really start to see the angle come to life. So that treble is really angling in these lacy sections, and the single crochet 2 together angles in the solid sections. So these decreases are all the same. This is what you were doing in the back, it's just you're doing more of them. The same thing goes true for the opposite side. So whether, medium, this is for the small, extra small, small, or for the medium, it doesn't really matter. It will tell you how many chain spaces to skip to get over. I'm pretty sure it's 2 for every size. You skip 2 chain spaces, and then it'll tell you where to join. And then again, you just have your neck decreases. So the small, extra small, you'll do the double crochet treble together on this size. And for the medium and all of your group, you really only have to do a single crochet 2 together. That's your main difference. The extra small, small, you will be doing a double crochet 2 together to replace that neck decrease. But in terms of all of the pattern, how the pattern works, that's still the same. So, you work all the way up here, you fasten off, then you join, and you work all the way up this side. Okay, so that's not different. What's happening on this edge is no different. You're just going to keep working across the stitch pattern, turn and go back, and the neck decreases are what's going to make it special. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is color placement. So on the sample we've been working, this is done in the V-neck. So if you got the VIP option, you have options for V-necks and long sleeves and cowl necks and a split collar neck. You have a lot more options in terms of a neckline. So if you are just doing the free version, you have a crew neck. So imagine yours looks more like that, okay? But when it comes to yarn that is variegated in stripes, it really depends on you. If when you fasten off, you're going to be in a different color zone if you just join and come back and do it and keep working your yarn. For me, what I like to do is I will get my yarn, like I will fasten off, then I will pull out all the color. Like I don't want to keep going because now I'm going to have a dark stripe here that I don't have a dark stripe over here. So I will pull out all of this extra yarn, put it to the side, and try to find the section where it starts the same color so that my 2 sides look similar. That's how I like to crochet. This is completely optional. You could have absolutely just gone and have one side that has like a darker side and one side's a lighter side. It's really up to you and how much your variegated yarn is changing. Because you'll notice in this sweater, like here, it looks super stripy, but like if yours is not looking as stripy like it is at the bottom of the sweater, then, feel free to not, like you don't have to do that. But if yours is ending up with lots of stripes, you might want to consider it. So all I did again is I pulled out a whole bunch of yarn from the ball until I got to the same color. Then I joined it with this. Do not throw this yarn away. This will come in super handy because there's still a lot more crocheting that we need to do. So please don't get rid of this little bit. because we can use this when we still have to seam the sweater together. We have to do the collar, the sleeves, the bottom ribbing. So this stuff comes in handy. So if you did pull it out, just put it to the side. You can reuse it. You reuse that yarn lots of places. All right, so you got some crocheting to do, but because it's the upper part and a lot is cut out, it will take you less time. What I'm also making you do today is block your sweater. So if you look in the tutorials, we have how to wet block your sweater. You can go ahead and do that so that you're all set and clear to seam all of this goodness together. So go enjoy your day. I hope you have fun crocheting today, and I will see you for the next part. Bye, everybody.